Hi guys, I'm back with a video. Last year when I posted pictures of my walnut papers, I got a lot of questions on how I make my walnut water. And I try to explain it in words to people, but it seems everyone loves a video today. And I couldn't make one till now because I needed walnuts. And guess what? My neighbor's tree is finally pummeled my garden with lots of walnuts. So I'm going to show you how I make my walnut water. And so that you see the difference. This is with the walnut water, and this is with coffee dyed. See, the coffee dyed is more like, let's say, a honey milk chocolate, and this is more of a dark chocolate. And you can see, I find them both absolutely lovely. Oh, and here, if you prefer just plain papers, you can see this one's like really grungy. This really reminds me of Tim Holtz's Walnut Stain. And then, yeah, here I did it with the leaves. Oh, I really enjoyed doing that. This is a great time to do this technique again. The videos are all in my YouTube channel, I guess you would call it. So I'll try to link them in the post underneath in that description thing. Here you can see I used I sprayed coffee dyed and did the leaves with the walnut water. And same here. I find it gives a really cool effect. Okay, so what do you need? Walnuts, of course. I gathered all of these from my garden, and this is what they look like in a pot. I recommend an old one. If you don't like getting your hands dirty and gucky, I would suggest putting gloves on, but yeah, I don't mind. The walnuts, they fall from the tree. That's really clever, Liz. And you'll see they have this outer shell on them, and it's usually really slimy. I just peel the outer shell. The actual walnuts, you can eat them. So I put them aside for my friends that like to eat them. And see, you gotta sometimes peel. Sometimes if the ground is wet and it had rained, these are like really disgustingly slimy. So I just continue to do this. I just peel all the outer shell. I do not use the actual walnut. I use this. And I discovered if you harvest the walnuts a little, if you're lucky and they fall earlier and they have the green shell, you can do the same technique using the green shells, and they will give you again a different color. It's somewhere between coffee and walnut. It's like a light walnut, but I always wait to get the black gold. So I sit here and I will peel all my walnuts, and I will not bore you with this. So due to the magic of editing, I will be back in a minute. Now I fill the pot up with lots of water, so I let the walnut shells like swim in it. Let me find my experiment spoon, and I look. Oh, I could add a little more water, and you can already see. Let me grab a different spoon. You can already see just adding the water. Just adding the water, it turned brown. It didn't even require cooking, but I'm going to fill this up some more because I have a lot of friends that want walnut water, and I like to make this, make a lot of batch, and I put them in glass jars and refrigerate, but I'll explain that later. So I've got, that's it. I just put water in. I don't add anything. Later I will add what we call a schuss, let's say a tablespoon or two of vinegar to it, just to keep it from molding when it's on my when I keep it in little jars. But I will, when it's cooled, I'll refrigerate it, and it holds in the refrigerator. It'll hold for about a year. Okay, so now I've filled the pot up with water, and I'm just going to let it simmer for about 20 minutes, half an hour. I'll bring it first to a boil and then I'll turn it down. Is there an exact time? No. Is there a special recipe? No. Just throw the shells in, add water, let it first boil, then put it on a simmer, and then come and check. What do? I have these little pieces of notepads here in the kitchen, and then I'll come in about 15-20 minutes and I just stick it in the water. And then I put it to the side and I see how dark it is. Do I want it darker? Then I let it cook some more. It will reduce and it will get really dark. If I'm happy with it, I take it off and then I strain it. But we'll deal with that after this is cooked. So I will be back in a minute in your time and in about 20 minutes or so my time. I wanted to show you my walnut water. My shells have been simmering for only about 5 to not even 10 minutes. And you can already see, look how dark it is. The first few batches are really dark and they don't need to cook as long. Look, I'll take my paper and I'll test it. Look at how dark that already is. Yes, it will dry lighter, but it's still a really nice color. So technically, I could stop this and then I would put this through a strainer, and you can use these shells again, add water until you don't get the darkness or the depth you want, and keep adding the extra shells you have. You can make a ton of walnut water from this. So I'm going to let this continue cooking for another minute, but probably not very long because that's nice and dark for my liking. And then I'll be back again in a few minutes. Want to show you my hubby, when he was out hiking, he collected chestnuts with the prickly shells for me. So now I've heard these make a really black, dark suit water. I've never made it before, so I'm going to give this a try. Oh, that's quite a bit. And I will let you know at the end of the video how this works out. So it would be the same procedure. Ouch, those are prickly. I just add water, fill it up with water, and let it boil and then simmer. How long this needs to simmer, I have no idea because I have never done the chestnuts before. This is premiere for me. It's an experiment and maybe a flop. And I will let you know at the end of the video what we got. Okay, you can see I've now strained. I did this over my sink, but I'm showing you it here because it would have been a pain to try to move the camera and everything. I'm not that good at all this filming stuff yet. So I strained it, and I'm going to take these the shells, and I'm going to put them back in the pot and add more water. Okay, I'm going to let this cool, and then I will pour it through a coffee filter to get any little particles out, because I find the little particles plug up our spray bottles because I use the sprayer. If you look at my other videos, you'll see how I create my papers. But this has to unfortunately cool. So, and either I will try to set up the camera and show you how I strain that. If not, I'm sure it's like cooking coffee, just pour it through the coffee filter. But this is really, really hot. I've tried to strain it when it was hot. All it did was cause the glue on the coffee filters to burst, and they would rip and be no good, which I found really strange because coffees, you use them in your coffee machine, but I guess that water doesn't get as hot. So this will go to the side. And you see, I topped off my pot again. And since these shells, I don't know how to even explain it. Look, already, this is like the second batch, and the water is still super dark. You can keep using it until it doesn't get the darkness that you would like, and then I would add more of my shells into it. You can get a ton. You'll actually, if you only want to make a jar, you just need a handful of walnut shells. Also, some of the shells, as I'm peeling them, some of the, here I can show you, some of the, they're hard and I can't get the shell off of it. I throw the whole walnut in there and let it cook with it. And then I just fish it out later. Those ones are obviously I wouldn't eat. But that's basically it here. Just let it simmer. And like I said, there is no real timing or anything. Just, I let it cook for about 5 to 10 minutes. And then I stick my paper in. You see how much lighter that is now compared to when I took the other one out. So I'll let this, oops, it's ready to boil. Turn it down a bit. And I will let it go for about 5 to 8 minutes. And then I'll test it again with my piece of paper. Since I'm a little impatient and I got the idea, if I try to strain it through some fabric, unfortunately the cheesecloth I have is really open weave and that wouldn't help any. So I took a bowl that will catch my juice, my strainer, and I'm taking a piece of, you see, white inexpensive, I think it's just, that's a white cotton. One that's not super dense weaved. It would probably be better. And this one, I looked which one looked like the cheapest to see if I can get it to drain through that. I'm going to pour it through here. See what happens. Oh, good. It's going through much faster than the coffee filter. And I even brought down some scraps of white IKEA cotton nestle that I'm going to throw in my pot and see what happens. Here, what I wanted to show you, why I strain it extra through the fabric. Let me get rid of all the liquid. Hope you'll be able to see this on camera. But you see there's this like fine sludge. And if you don't strain it extra, I learned from bad experience that all the spray bottles that I use, they clog up really quickly. And that's really annoying when you're spending more time cleaning the spray bottle nozzle and its tube than actually making paper. So now I take the time to strain it again. I see this works good with the fabric. So skip the coffee filter thing. Just grab yourself a piece of cotton, and this way it's still hot and I can let it strain through. In the meantime, let me move this to the side. While that's happening, I'm going to show you. You need to gather bottles. Lots of bottles. Old wine bottles. We save these pasta bottles. Even spray bottles you can use. All of this stuff I will then pour into this. Oh, I almost forgot. Once my walnut water is done and ready to be poured in, I put in like a tablespoon of vinegar into the water. I use, I know someone will ask, here we don't use white vinegar as much as in America. I use this wine brand vinegar. I don't think it makes a difference. You could put a shot of a little tablespoon of alcohol in if you want. Some people put sanitizer stuff in it. It's just to help keep it from going bad. But I found even when I didn't put the vinegar in, once I put it, once it was all cooled and everything, and I marked my bottles so my hubby doesn't think this is wine, I found that if it was refrigerated, it held a good year. It did not go bad. Once it's out on once I put it in my little spray bottles, here, let me show you. I have little spray bottles that I keep on my desk, and that I go bring a bottle up and I fill it up. These That's why I keep it small. These will, if they sit too long, especially in the hot summer, they sit on my desk for a couple of months, they will start to, what's schimmel in English? Get moldy. And then I dump it, wash it, and get a new batch because the fridge in the basement is full of bottles. So so that's just a tip that I do so I don't have... When I am doing coffee dyeing or walnut staining a lot of papers, then I'll bring up a big bottle and I will just go to town. But this is in between when I'm crafting and I want to take that whiteness off of my pages. So I think that's it. I'm still waiting for the chestnut water to cook or to do something. So far, not much is happening there. The walnut water is much more pigment and potent, much quicker. So I'll continue cooking and I will add in results at the end. This is my chestnut water. I let it cook for over an hour and the water just evaporated and I've got this, sludge. So these chestnuts are a flop. Maybe it's the wrong chestnuts. Maybe I have to add some to the water. If you know, please leave a comment in the comment section below. I'd be curious to know how I'm supposed to get nice black chestnut water. Okay, so that's a thumbs down. That's a thumbs down for this experiment. Cooking's coming to an end, but I wanted to show you up close. See, as I was mentioning about the straining, you can see here, this is like thick mud. And if you don't strain it, this is going to be in your water and it will clog up your spray bottles. So, let's see, what else is there? I think that's about it. I'm going to now clean up the kitchen, make myself a real cup of coffee, and until next time, choose. Oh, and don't forget to give me a thumbs up or leave a comment. And in case you're wondering, I will warn you, you do make a total mess of your kitchen. This is not an experiment or a hobby for the neat and tidy. So I just wanted to show you the real other side.